Hello and welcome to more Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Last time, we finally got ourselves the highly anticipated new team member in Cold Front. And we made it to Celadon City. In the time-lapse you saw there, I fought all the trainers in between Rock Tunnel and here. Mostly to train up Cold Front, but also because I had already gone through those routes and I figure backtracking throughout those places would not make for very good content. I'd much rather make some progress, and so today I will probably attempt the Celadon gym, and since we're already in Celadon, we can probably go for the Rocket Hideout after that. Here we get our free Eevee, who I will not nickname because none of the evolutions are weather Pokemon in this game, but I would at least like to show it off. While we're in this building, we can also pick up the T that'll let us access Saffron City. The game has really opened up a lot, so we can definitely take our pick from a number of options. I believe there is a hidden item somewhere here, but too lazy to find it. I also might have just moved it. Let's see, we could go to Saffron City, but aside from getting the TM for Psychic, there's not much to do there. We could skip the Celadon gym entirely, go for the Rocket Hideout, get the Sylph Scope, go to Lavender Tower, and head south instead to Fuchsia City. But I don't think that'll make for very good content either, so let's just take the gym. This guy threatens to punch me. What a lovely and upstanding citizen. I think there might be a hidden item somewhere here. Or it could be to the north. Okay, here's a PP up. If I ever have to rely on Blizzard or Fire Blast, that might be useful. This guy can finally touch grass, even though he's standing on grass right now. He might have dementia. Anyway, this gym is full of grass types, so I think it'll be the perfect chance to give Cold Front a bit of time in the spotlight. I should tell you about this gym. Only real ladies are allowed in here. In one of my first ROM hacks, I changed all the dialogue of all the trainers in this gym to be puns about grass and plants. I kind of regret not doing that here because it was hilarious and my sense of humor is unrivaled. This Sandslash is going to put a curse on us, but that's fine. Nuvolette can take the KO, and we can just switch out. I'm not too concerned about the sand here, and we just take the KO like that. Very easy. And Cold Front gets the level up. You might have seen in the time-lapse at the start of the episode that Cold Front already missed its evolution, and I delayed it for this video. But that's okay, it's not going to miss any moves or whatever. And here we see Haunter, those red and blue lines going across it are the symbols for the hot and cold fronts in weather. As you can see, its menu sprite is missing the hot front because there is no red in this palette. You can only use a certain combination of colors at a time. Here we see Clefairy. We're very familiar with what Clefairy is and does, and we could just KO it with a few Icy Winds. Tangela will be even easier to KO with an Icy Wind. It is 4 times weak to Ice. Here we see Ghastly, who falls to an Ice-type move. Execute, I think, is a Pokemon we've already seen. And I will give Scourge the experience. Scourge did learn Ancient Power in the time-lapse. Cold Front and Scourge are almost caught up with the rest of the team, so I'll just fight these last trainers for a bit of experience. I don't think there's anything Kadabra can do to hurt us, but we just one-shot it anyway. Clefable is a bit bulkier, so it does take 2 hits, and we did get a lucky crit there. Oh, okay, well, Cold Front takes the valiant effort to reduce the Weeping Bell to KO range for Scourge. Here we see that Ivysaur gets Rock Blast as its Rock Stab in the mid-game. There's no loaded dice in this ROM hack, so unfortunately can't make the best use of it, but I'll heal and bring us back right here. Okay, and we're back. Only 2 remaining trainers, and Cold Front can probably take both of them. No, 3 remaining trainers. This one has almost a full team. That's probably the most stacked team we've seen in the game so far. But we already know we can 1 or 2-shot most of these Pokemon. Luckily we dodge a Grass Whistle there, and she heals up, but it's not going to amount to much. Here we see Geodude. I don't think we've seen before. You can see it's pumpkin themed. It's actually Grass Fire type, which before Scovillain in Gen 9 was an unprecedented type combination. Seal comes out, we already know it's Water Grass, so I will give Hunimo the KO here. Last episode I said Junimo, but when I played Stardew Valley I just decided to give the Junimos a bit of Hispanic flair and called them Hunimos. And I think Concerned Ape made an official stance that it is Junimo, but he said you could call them however you want. Let's see. Grimer we know is a grass type, but I think I'll give Scourge the experience. This person's hobby is Pokemon training, which is a super lame and uninteresting hobby, so I'm just going to show her how wrong she is. You can't even make YouTube videos out of that hobby. Yeah, I think I definitely undercooked with the teams in this gym. I'm not sure why I gave this trainer water types in a grass type gym. Personally, I think that the model of types gyms is very underwhelming. Most gyms in most Pokemon games can just be swept by bringing in a Pokemon with a super effective type. Especially in the early game, where there aren't that many options that the opposing trainers are given. I don't know, I'm not proposing like a Radical Red type solution where every gym leader has a full team with full coverage and items and something like that, but a bit of variety would be nice. Maybe like the Pokemon Glazed Elite Four approach of having gyms themed around something else, like colors, would be more interesting, like a weather-themed gym that runs a rain team, but I don't know. Anyway, with that said, let's get to Erika here.
Hello. Lovely weather, isn't it? It's so pleasant. Oh dear, I must have dozed off. Welcome. My name is Erika. I am the leader of Celadon Gym. I love grass-type Pokemon. They're just so nice. Wouldn't you love to just go touch grass? No, you don't want to touch grass, you just want to fight. Very well, but I shall not lose.
Yeah, we don't touch grass here. What kind of sick game is this? If we get hit by Flash and unceremoniously get one-shot by Kadabra, it's a bit unfortunate, but I think Nimbus can take the revenge KO. Growler we've already seen is Grass Fire. Okay. I think Nimbus, with its adamant nature, Air Cutter might actually just one shot. I should have led with Nimbus.
How I concede defeat. You are remarkably strong. I must confer on you the Rainbow Badge. The Rainbow Badge will make Pokemon to level 50 obey. It also allows Pokemon to use strength in and out of battle. Please also take this with you. TM19 contains Giga Drain. Half the damage it inflicts is drained to heal your Pokemon. Wouldn't you agree that it's a wonderful move?
It is probably the best grass type move in Gen 3. We could teach it to Clefable, but that's okay. I'll stick with Mega Drain for now. There's really no pressing reason to add Giga Drain to my moveset. Let's take a brief detour. Go get the HM for Fly. And then we can tackle the Rocket headquarters. There's a double battle here, which I would like to showcase. And Cold Front can redeem himself. Here we see Executor actually has Drought in this game. I don't think either of these Pokemon are designs that we've seen. But I am happy with how both of them came out. Wow, Twist are doing absolutely nothing there. Thankfully, Cold Front's Cloud 9 negates the effects of the Drought. And Scourge is able to pick up the KO on Executor. And we get the unnecessary Omni Boost against Seaking. Yeah, I think in the originals, those two trainers use Arcanine and Ninetales, and so I did make an active effort to preserve that. And here we get Fly. Yeah, you'll notice that the overworld sprites, what few there are of the Pokemon, didn't actually get changed in this game, and that's because changing those is a bit different from changing the battle sprites. Yeah, I think by the point I was done with the battle sprites and menu sprites, I was just so burnt out on pixel art that I felt like the minuscule amount of Pokemon that show up in the world was just so negligible that I was okay with leaving them untouched. Anyway, there's not much else to do in this city. But actually, now that I think about it, before we get to the Rocket headquarters, we might as well go to Saffron City and pick up the TM for Psychic. This part of the game has always been pretty odd to me because you share a T with 4 guards and they just completely neglect their duty and let you through to a city that's supposed to be cordoned off because of an invasion of hostile terrorists. But it's fine, it's a Pokemon game, you know, 1 cup of tea goes a long way. I think I won't start on the Rocket hideout today, just because there's a lot to do there. So let's instead take on this fighting dojo. And none of them will be double battles. They're all single battles, even though they approach you from both sides. It's like the perfect format for a double battle, but it's fine, it's whatever. Double Kick doing a good chunk despite the resist. So I think I'll switch out to Junimo. Ouch. Horn Attack crit does a lot of damage. Okay. I think Scourge can take the revenge KO here. We are a bit underleveled for this particular portion of the game, so maybe it was a bit rash to go in here. Although maybe not, because this Charmeleon doesn't look like it has much to hit Scourge. Primeape we know is ghost fighting, so we'll see if Nuvolette can do something here. Okay, it had the black belt we just saw, so maybe that could be a good strategy for like using Thief. Wait, Charmeleon, we saw it has Metal Claw, and I think from this range, Cold Front will probably faint, so let's just Air Cutter. I was trying to avoid it because Nimbus is already overleveled as is. But it is approaching an evolution. Oh, we see Nidoking here. I think this is the first time seeing Nidoking. We'll see it actually has a chess king on its head. I think I will Mud Shot. Okay, it gets the Fake Out on me, we flinch, but it also gets chipped down by sand. Okay, for some reason it used Moonlight. I don't know why it's healing when it has like 90% HP. It raises its attack. I think this might be the problem where... Okay, well, that's fine. Snad unfortunately falls, but it might be a problem where the Stone evolutions just don't have good moves in Gen 3. I mean, I understand why they would design it that way. There's a trade-off between evolving your Pokemon early, thus getting more power earlier on in the game, and having them learn fewer moves as a consequence. It feels overly restrictive, especially in Gen 1 when there's no move relearner later on in the game to help mitigate the consequences a little bit. I don't know, it just feels like one of those me has acabado en medio suavemente. This guy is, Ganon. Okay, Shadow Punch almost one-shot me there, and it has Shadow Tag, so I can't switch. And it's going to choose to KO Cold Front with Curse. Cross Chop does a lot of damage. It's going to KO itself with Curse and then KO me. Okay, disfruta de mi suavidad. I don't know why I changed this specific guy's dialogue and no one else in the dojo. Ouch, okay. Yeah, maybe we are a bit underleveled for this point in the game, but that's fine. I actually like a bit of challenge. But damn, we're getting absolutely swept by Perry the Platypus. Okay. Thankfully, Nimbus gets the crit. Air Cutter there. Protect is probably a bit better than Agility. Anyway, we see Persian here, who I think we've seen Meowth before. Right, so Persian, not too different. It's kind of a natural consequence of Meowth. It's just a big, fluffy, saber-toothed cat. Yeah, we already know it has triple kick, but it's not doing much to Nimbus. I think I will set up the sand here, hopefully chip down this Primeape. At least get off a Mud Shot to lower its speed so that Nimbus can come in with the Revenge KO, or not, it's just gonna curse itself. Yeah, okay, I think I'm not sure. I already know what Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan look like in this game. Neither of them are weather Pokemon, but I think I chose Hitmonlee when I test ran this game, so I'll choose Hitmonchan just because. It also is a type that we don't have access to just yet. This guy's the Karate Master, and he has two Pokemon, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Okay. Hitmonlee is an Ice type, as you can see. Yeah, we already know our team doesn't have any good counters to Ice. And it has Perish Song. And a Black Belt. So I kind of want to switch out because of the Perish Song. And I already knew it had Blaze Kick. And I think the AI is smart enough to switch here. Okay, yeah. So here we see what Hitmonchan looks like. It is a fire type. But Water Ball still didn't do all that much damage. Sky Uppercut is probably not going to do all that much because it is a special attacker in this game. I don't want to send out Junimo because it is a fire type. I don't want to send out Nuvolette because Sky Uppercut will probably hurt. So I think I'll send out Scourge, who is probably our bulkiest team member. Fire Punch doing a lot of damage, over half, and getting the burn. And Reversal is going to do a lot as well. Okay, and Nimbus really is our best counter to this guy. It has Endure, just so that Reversal can be even more powerful, but fortunately the AI does not know how to use that strategy. Hitmonlee, I think Snad can set up the Sand, and if we outspeed or if we live an Ice type move, then Ancient Power. Okay, it just uses Blaze Kick and whiffs, which wouldn't have done much damage anyway, so Snad picking up the easy kill. Okay, that was actually somewhat tough. Let's go with Hitmonchan. And I won't nickname it. I won't nickname it because it's not a weather Pokemon. But I will show it off a little bit before we end the episode. We also have to show off Eevee, who we got for free. Eevee is dark and edgy and brooding. The goal here, the idea, was that regular Eevee is a normal type that turns into one of many special types, so fire, water, grass, electric, those are all the types that were special before the physical split. Now it's been subverted. Regular Eevee is a dark type, which is a special type, and it turns into one of 3 physical types in this game. So Hitmonchan has Blaze, which is not a weather ability, but it is a fire type. It gets access to some interesting moves, and it is a special attacker. But it does get access to Dragon Dance, in case you want to run a physical set on it, or just use the speed boost to potentially get up a sweep. But I think that'll be all for this episode. Actually, did I pick up the TM for Psychic? I already forgot. I think I did. So yeah, that'll be all for this episode. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.